We're on a road to nowhere. Come on inside. Taking that ride to nowhere. We'll take that ride. I'm feeling okay this morning. And you know, we're on the road to paradise. Here we go, here we go. There's a city in my mind. Come along and take that ride, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. And it's very far away, but it's growing day by day, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. Would you like to come along, and you can help me sing this song, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. There's a city in my mind. Come along and take that ride, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. And it's very far away, but it's growing day by day. It's alright, baby, it's alright. They could tell you what to do, but they'll make a fool of you, and it's alright, baby, it's alright.
Hello, fam. I am just going to post this drizzle right here and say that we are live. Let me see here. Okay, let's see. All right. What tweet? I am over. So I should have asked you this before. Do you want to go by Lucky Burrito?
Yeah, I usually go by Lucky, LB, like Lucky Burrito, whatever.
Okay. So this is my guest tonight. This is a super impromptu show. But sometimes something happens, be it in the news or Twitter or Spear or wherever, and I'm just like, okay, I definitely feel like I need to rant about something. Let's see who we got here. Dingo. Baby.
I love Dingo ate my baby.
I can't see the other person. It's a V.
VA from NY.
Oh, okay. Hey, thanks so much for joining. Lucky Burritos in the chat.
That is me.
Okay, Trish T and Miss Jenna Whoopty. Jenna's the one with the boogers that I said.
Jenna, you have a dog that sounds adorable.
Yes.
We were discussing your dogs.
He's got no teeth, but he is fierce as hell, and he will bark and bite and everything else, even with no teeth.
Oh my gosh.
Fierce.
That is so cute.
I know, he's adorable. So, sometimes stuff happens and I'm like, okay, I just want to address this because I want to rant. And, Lucky, you can probably see the comments. I can't. So if you see anything and, you want to address it or anything like that, feel free.
Okay.
So yesterday, so y'all know there's a newer network who has been blatantly attacking me and the M for M for All. And not just on the shows, but on Twitter and everywhere else. And it's not just like we don't like them. It's like legit, like name calling and slander and everything else. And it's getting to the point where their actual organization, not just people do their own shit. That's why you see on Twitter a lot of times like posts are my own. They're not representative of XYZ. The actual organizations themselves are attacking people. And it's unprofessional as fuck, first of all, because if you're representing someone, you don't do that shit. So that pisses me off, but they, they come at me and other people directly, disabled activists like both of us, and attack us by name, most of them by block, and I never, ever, ever, ever say anything about them directly on Twitter. I say things like, we don't need a super PAC, or and for all actually has disabled people, not just the same abled people, the same 3 people on the stage all the time and stuff like that. And if they get defensive and jump in, that's on them, because I'm not tagging them. So if y'all feel guilty, then that's on you. But till today, I have never once even said any of their names on air, because I don't like giving them a platform. And I'm telling you guys, y'all know, anyone who's watching, I've been doing this shit almost 5 years, and I have never, ever said anything about other podcasters until once, about 10 months ago, when one of them blatantly attacked me on their show. I did one show as a response, and that was it. I don't talk about other podcasters because I pride myself in talking about the issues. But what happened yesterday to me just really sparked some shit in me, and it evoked things that I've been feeling. So first, Lucky,
and we didn't discuss it. Like, we weren't in contact, to do a show, or even in any kind of regular contact. Like, we know each other from the indie, the indie sphere. I've watched Savage Joy before, but it wasn't this is some ganging up planned out thing. We aren't, this is our first time doing a stream together. We had very minimal contact even before we decided, to do the stream. And so I just want to make sure that everybody understands. So this came out organically, with the way that it happened. Neither one of us sought the other out to be oh yeah, they're doing stuff to you too. No, it happened organically. So I just want to make sure
I hit up clear. Lucky probably 2 hours ago or something, and I was just like, hey, do you want to come on tonight? Totally impromptu. I did a show last night, and I have shows the next 2 nights. I didn't need to do it, but what's going on?
We did.
Right now,
we did need to.
I didn't need to do this, okay? But yeah, what's going on right now is just so gross. And, I always ran about this shit by myself. And I don't want to seem like I'm always biased, because it's these same people all the time. Now I'm going to talk to someone else who's dealing with the same fucking shit from these people. So, Lucky, why don't, it's up to you if you want to say names or whatever, but why don't you, share what happened yesterday and today, what's going on?
Oh, wow. Okay. So to give a little bit of back, I'm going to use names because the attacks that happened to me were not in private chat. They weren't through a text message or a DM. It was absolutely out on the public forum. It was out on Twitter, blatant and very obvious. So obviously it's not just a private thing between, people. So the network that we were talking about is KRTD or Carbros, whatever. They've changed their name a couple times now. Most people recognize them as KRTD. I, with my partner, we were drafted, or I don't know, whatever, recruited to become part of that network. And so we had joined up with them, and we had come out that we were officially part of that network on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day at midnight. We were doing a stream with Sabby Sabs and everybody. It was a big to do.
Yeah, I was on it.
Yeah. So like we were really, really excited. Like really excited. I want people to understand is that we wanted to grow with this network. We really thought like, oh my gosh, like how amazing of an opportunity is this? We're going to do our shows that we were already producing and doing ourselves, but we're going to do them with them and we're going to grow and we're going to have this whole thing that's going to happen. Well, the culture of that network didn't align with who we are. I am a First Amendment absolutist. I am absolutely free Assange. I am freedom of speech. I feel like, if more speech is the answer, as opposed to less speech and repressing, people's speech. Let's have more conversations. Let's have conversations about things that are uncomfortable. How else do we know where the boundaries are if we don't walk up to, the line of offense? You know what I mean? If we're not being if we don't have those open and honest conversations, then how do we ever know where somebody really stands? And I'm very much about, like, my show is called Fearlessly Authentic, and that's a very clear representation of who I try to be all the time, and it's an active thing. Like it is not easy to just be authentic and call out the fucking. Sorry, do you curse on your show? I'm like, oh, whoops.
I should keep tally marks of how many times I curse on my show.
Like I said, I'm a freedom of speech absolutist. So
exactly. I call people douche canoes, twat waffles, let it rip. I don't care.
I love douche canoe. That's one of my favorite things to say. So, and my partner does music streams, and we found like this niche within this community, and then we felt like, wow, they're being inclusive and they want us to like grow with them, and like they see the value in what we're doing. Like, how amazing is this? So when I'm talking about this network, I'm not talking about them as in like, oh, I just don't like them. They just don't, they rub me the wrong way. No, we were part of that. And we were part of that for a very short period of time. And we still joined, even though we were censored. Like we dealt with a lot of issues. You saw the video, Joy, of when I went on with Joe Firestone, I walked into that den hole, that like the lion's den, without realizing what it is. We can make sure we grab the
to go on
the
that
link for that.
episode, or
were
you asked to go on that?
It was an open stream. So like they were doing a stream. What I do on my channel a lot of times is, if people don't agree with me or we want to have a larger conversation, I will drop the StreamYard link right into the chat and just say, hey, who wants to join us? Like, let's open this up. Let's have a discussion. So they had adopted that, and they did that. So I went on, and
did they specifically say this link is for people who don't agree, or how was it presented?
It was just like, if you want to join the discussion, like join the show that they were doing. And so Steve went on there and was like, all right, cool. Like, we didn't know much about Joe Firestone or the, the network too much. So we were like, all right, well, we'll go on there and we're going to show our support. You know what I mean? Like, let's do this. Like, let's have some real, discussion about this. And it was about voting out incumbents, and how they think that we should vote out 100 to 150 incumbents. And like there was I felt like it was going really well in the stream, until he didn't like what I was saying. He didn't like that everything that he was trying to tell me was a circular, incremental, like we're gonna incrementally figure this out. We're gonna vote people out without having elections that we know our votes count. Like, we don't have to tackle that first. Like, we're just gonna vote everybody out. We're just gonna get the money out. Like, I wasn't attacking him personally. I wasn't attacking like the actual idea of what it was. I was saying that the structure and the framework that we have for that isn't set up for that. We're not set up for that. We're not set up where we can all say, yeah, we're just going to get everybody to vote and we're really going to get what we need. And I had a rebuttal to what he said and he didn't like it. And so he wanted to kick me off the stream and like actually called for Shane to remove me off of a live stream. And
execute is what he said. I need you to execute.
And we'll grab that link and throw it in the chat for you guys.
Yeah, please do. I can't watch it again. There were so many things that were bothersome about that stream. And, I've known the dude for like 4 years. I blocked him a few months ago because I was just really sick of his attacks and his 3-hour streams on absolutely nothing. Like,
he's in the wrong field.
What's that?
He's like in the wrong field. He needs to do like ASMR. He would do great with like reading, like, something like that. Like he would. But Joy, here's the thing when it comes to Joe Firestone, and this is the reason why I still, even though that happened, and I was given assurances by the other team, the rest of the team, that wouldn't happen, that they are not for censorship. So I still gave them, even though that I gave the benefit of the doubt and I believed in my team and I believed in the people that had recruited us, that they wanted, you know what I mean? Like that we could be adults and work this out. So oh shit! I just lost my brain thought there. Where was I going?
Well, I want to talk about the discussion as well. This is a very different. This aspect is not about censorship, but I want to talk about the actual video itself as well. The presentation discussion, whatever you call it, was dump the incumbents and. Mm-hmm. The premise was we are going to get rid of 100 to 150 reps and put in new people.
Anybody who takes dark money. Anybody. Like they were like, if it's AOC, if she's taking dark money, we're taking her out. We're, you know what I mean? Like it was dismantling the whole system. Okay.
And how is that working for us? Now, during the 20-minute video that Lucky sent me.
And that was like an edited clip of the entire stream.
So you will see more contradictions in that 20 minutes than I've probably ever seen anyone say. So they don't have the power to stand up to people. So you want us to vote in 100 to 150 of the people who you're not holding accountable. And then it was, force the vote was a stupid idea because it was for Medicare for all. Excuse me? I'm the disabled speaker for force the vote on the town hall, and the
and he tried to say, oh, it was a Jimmy Dore idea and blah blah blah, and then he's like, but it was my idea originally, and that's why. And they didn't ask for enough, and I'm like, they didn't ask for anything, and that wasn't a Jimmy Dore idea.
With them, they didn't fucking do it.
Nobody should have had to force anything. They should have been. They should have been rallying us because that should have been their fucking idea. Because that's their fucking job to have that idea.
Yes, right. But yeah, I mean, it was just contradiction after contradiction, and Lucky had the guts to say, "Look, you're saying this is so easy, but the people we are believing in and voting in." Are not doing what they say they're going to do. So how do we just trust that 100 and 150 people are going to say what are going to do what they say they're going to do when we don't even have 5 right now doing that? And it was, he didn't use the word obey, but it was very much, we need everyone to stick to the process and stuff. And it's like, well, we cannot have everyone, in 2016 when we all wrote in Bernard, how many people were going to do it? Millions. How many of us did it? Maybe 20,000? People don't stick to things. People don't obey things. This is utopian as fuck to be like, oh, we just need to vote in 100 or 150 people.
I'm like, how do we even begin doing that without having a voting system that we know, say that we did have a system that worked voting wise, like we had it, like where we knew, like I could be like, yeah, I can track my vote. I can show you that my vote counted in that it was counted the proper way because we have accountability within our system. Like our system is rigged and you expect me to put the time and energy towards a voting system, a system that's broken. Like this doesn't, it didn't logically make sense to me. So I challenged everything.
Shit sucks, vote harder. That is what it is. And as someone
he made his career, though, he made his entire career is based upon incrementalism and doing exactly what he was advocating. So if he changes that, you know, like if he suddenly changes how he feels about that, then that means his entire line of work, his entire career is like his books are worthless. His things are worthless. Everything that he's put into it, all that energy is now worthless because it hasn't worked, because they're not addressing their actual. So he can't acknowledge to me that like we need to fix the system if we're going to use this system. Like you can't, you know what I mean? Like it's like trying to drive a vehicle with 3 wheels. Like it's not going to work. It might move. It's not going to do anything. You're not going to get far.
You know, the thing that, you know, bothered me when I'm watching it, well, one of the things that bothered me was that I've interviewed over 200 Bernie candidates from across the country. Now, when I say over 200 Bernie candidates, I mean with his platform. I mean Medicare for all, Green New Deal, criminal justice reform, legalizing cannabis. I mean literal platform of him. Over 200 candidates I've interviewed. How many of them do you think won? But you think we can just get in 100 or 150 like that? Really? It's that fucking easy? Like, this is so much energy and time thinking that this is going to work, that it is actually sad. It's actually sad that someone thinks that the squad is their allies. First of all, I thought people were finally starting to wake up and realize they aren't. But then it's also sad for someone to say the squad are our allies, and we also have an additional 10 progressives who are very progressive in Congress. Like who? I was
and
just
what
like,
I said,
oh my God.
and when I called out the fact that the squad's not even like, we can't get the squad to do left. We can't get the squad to do anything fucking left. They're not working for us. Okay, so I called that out. I call it out.
You have 12 million Twitter followers. You literally can't put hashtag Medicare for all.
I know.
No. You can't do that. That is the barest minimum. And you know, that's why people like me and Susan Sarandon and all those people were outside in New York, you know, doing a call to action for AOC to step the fuck up and open her damn mouth, because she can't even tweet the words. So no, we shouldn't be calling them our allies. They're not our allies.
No.
At all.
No, we pay for their fantastic healthcare. We pay for their fantastic salaries. We pay for them to have a retirement for the rest of their freaking lives after they worked for 5 years. So she's set with her speaker fucking things and everything else. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. They don't work for us. It's this system is not working, and we got to stop putting effort into the broken end of a broken system when we don't have a system that works. Like our past has shown us that we suck at this. Like we suck. It's not working. This system hasn't ever worked. And just
so how, you know, you're talking 100 to 150 new reps, okay? And okay, let's say we have like 50 states or whatever. So
we can't even get a freaking primary that's freaking not rigged. We're gonna get 150 people suddenly in there.
Alabama, Texas, they're all putting in progressives. They're all putting in leftists. You know what? All of them, all the South, all
They
the
can
red
put all the
states
fucking
there, all
letters
put
they
them in.
want. That doesn't matter.
All we need is to get them in. That's all we need. We're set. That's all we need.
But Mansion and Cinema, man, they fucking.
That is another vote blue no matter who. That is dump the incumbents equals vote blue no matter who. Period. That's what it means.
It's just money. It's just funneling money into the wrong places. How much money could we what could we have done on our own had we fundraised all that money and not sent it to politicians? What could we have right now? What nice things could we have? How many people could we help? How many people could we have housed? How many people's medical bills could we have helped out with? How much advocacy? How much, how many, community gardens to grow our own food? How many things could we have done with that money if we had not funneled it into politicians?
Well, look at just the $100,000 people gave to AOC that she literally gave to incumbents who don't support Medicare for all, who don't support Green New Deal, who are complete and utter establishment hacks, that she agreed those donations were going to go to grassroots candidates. And then she stole that money and sent $5,000 each, with some of the candidates sent back to her. And they're like, I don't want a fucking socialist money. They don't even like your ass, and you're sending them money. No, I don't have faith in you.
Sounds like a bribe to me. Sounds like a bribe.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are sitting reps allowed to donate to other reps? There's something shady about that. That shouldn't be allowed at all. It's fucking bananas. So there was, watching this stream, there were I had different thoughts. I was like, wow, this is the dumbest fucking strategy I've ever heard. It makes no sense. It's not feasible. And he's not willing to listen to any concerns, which are incredibly valid. But even put that aside, even let's say that you were wrong. You weren't. But let's say you were. What does that mean as far as now I'm going to kick you off the stream? Why does that mean that we will not even have discourse? If you disagree with me, I'm cutting you off.
Yeah. So Joe Firestone decided that after I dropped the mic about just nonstop, everything that he was saying, every little bit of incrementalism, I kindly destroyed and dropped the mic and was like, all right, what's next? What's next? And by the time of at the point of where he didn't he could not defend what he was saying. He did his own defense of what I was dismantling all of it very easily because it doesn't make sense, because it's not logical. And so he's just like, oh, nope. Yeah, you gotta go. I'm like, wait, what? What? You're just gonna kick me from a stream? It would be like Joy suddenly saying, well, Lucky, I just, you're good. I'm good. Bye. You're done. What the fuck?
I've done a show almost 5 years. I've literally never even threatened to kick someone out. I've never heard of such a thing. It blew my mind. I have never seen such a thing in my fucking life. And if you think that you have something powerful and you have something you believe in, you should not feel threatened by someone asking questions about how it's going to work. That should not be a threat to you. And that's exactly what happened. You brought up points that were calling out the fact that what he was promoting is not feasible. And rather than rather than people seeing your point, it was
because I'm looking for real solutions. I really want a solution to the problem. That's the thing. I really want to move forward and figure things out together, but that's not their objective. If it's not their objective.
Why would you put a link to the StreamYard in?
Because that's what I do on my show.
But you're
And
willing to talk to people. That's the difference. Why would you put that in there without like a caveat? If you agree with me, or an asterisk, only if you agree with every single thing I say, and if you don't, you shut the fuck up. Like,
because I can tell you, because so when they were scouting out Steve and I for our on our shows to kind of recruit us over to there, they saw that we do that we would drop a link in, and I've had people come on that complete strangers come in and just ask questions on a stream. I've had people come on and, we have open discussion about it, and we try to we are searching for an actual solution. Like, we really want the solution. We want the answer to how we come, what I mean? Like, we want something that we can work with, and incrementalism and doing that they don't want that answer. They just want to keep it's about keeping the cycle going, as opposed to breaking the cycle and saying this isn't working, So they took that idea that I had on my show and they did it with somebody that is that's for censorship, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, what happened to you is censorship. There is no other word. If you the fact that you were saying you were censored, and that was like this thing, like, how was that censoring? You cut the mic.
I called them out right there, like, just because they didn't hit the end button, and I was like, fine, peace out. I'll peacefully do it, because I knew, like, okay, we're joining this network. Like, I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm like, all right, I got to work with these people. I'll go myself, like I'll just, you know what I mean? It's like, fine, you don't have to do that. I will leave. I will leave on my own accord. You don't get to kick me. I am taking back my control of that right now. Like, that's what it felt like for me at the moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, you don't get to take that from me. Like, no.
It truly was incredible. And I do need to ask this. Did he ever personally apologize?
He never personally apologized. After I had left the stream, because he asked Shane to, he in the mid sentence, like as if he had some rebuttal, he all of a sudden goes, all right, Shane, well, I'm gonna have to ask you to remove the Lucky Burrito from the stream. And I'm like, what? Like, you can see the look on my face in the stream. I'm like, what is happening? Like, what? What do you mean? Like, okay, we're gonna think about this. We have some food for thought. You know what I mean? Like, let's see where we can go with this. Good input. Nothing. No,
not even a warning. Not even a count to 3. It was like, we're gone.
And then I'm like, wait, what? And I call him out right there about the censorship, about what he's doing. And he didn't like that. And then he said, all right, Shane, well, I'm going to ask you to execute what I've asked and remove Lucky Burrito from the stream. Like, I'm not saying exactly word for word verbatim, but that's why I put the link in the in your chat, like, so people can grab that and go check it out. And then I can also put the we have a full length video of the whole entire thing. We did a reactionary video that same night. And we watched the entire thing because I wanted to see. And after I left the stream, so I was told that I wasn't censored. It's like, it's like, either you're going to remove yourself or I'm going to remove you. But, that's not censorship, I was told. I don't know. You guys tell us. Let us know in the chat. What do you guys think? Was that censorship? Cutting somebody off in the middle of a stream, just
somebody saying, remove her from
I want you guys to, seriously, if you have not watched the video, please watch it. It's not because I want you to go and give me a bunch of views. I want you to see what the evidence is that we're talking about, and that's the entire purpose of it. But so after, he was like, well, if Lucky wants to come back on and have some rules about not interrupting each other. Like, what? I was like, he talked over everybody the entire stream.
Everybody.
Everybody.
And I've known him for 4 years. He has always done that. Always. Which it is what it is, but don't be telling other people they're doing it then. You know, look, I'm just going to say this and it's going to blow up. And look, I'm sick of them coming in my comments under troll names and shit like that. And I know for a fact it's them and I've proof it's them. And I purposely don't share the screenshots, how I know it's them and stuff like that, because I try to avoid this fucking 7th grade drama shit they always pull. But I'm going to say it. Dude seems sexist as fuck. And I never call anyone sexist, ever, because I fucking hate that Hillary Clinton bullshit. You're sexist if you don't like her. Like, that word to me, like, I pretty much never use it because to me it's so overused. But
he has a problem with strong women. He has a problem with strong women. You can see that in the video too, because he perfectly fine with Steve talking.
I know. Steve was disagreeing with him and he didn't threaten, to cut him off. That's why I was just like, wait, why is it the woman he's threatening to cut off? Like, I was like, there has to be some kind of sexism in this. Like, and I've seen him talk to other women like that as well. And I just feel like, I digress, but if you are going to have a show, it should not always be with the same exact 2 people because you're scared to disagree with someone. I mean, if that's what you're going to do, that's your thing, but it's boring as fuck. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and listen.
It's like ASMR. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, to each their own, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not for everybody. I am who I am. I'm not for everybody. Not everybody wants a loudmouth woman. I'm
an acquired taste. You don't like me, acquire some fucking taste.
You're lost, man. Like, that's how I kind of see it. Like, if I, whatever, like, and so give a little background, so that happened. And then we still joined the network in good faith. He did not apologize. So much nicer than me.
I've been like, y'all can kick rocks.
I was really apprehensive about it. But there's other content creators that were over there that were going to be starting a show that I knew about that later on have come out and they do a show over there. And so that gave them credit for me because I trusted my friends.
Fair enough.
So I trusted my friends and I'm like, all right, I feel like, all right, well, we're going to grow together. We're going to make this happen. You know what I mean? Like just being, who I am and wanting it so badly. I wanted that success of all of us to see us grow. I mean, like, come on, it's really hard to get, and to get going in this kind of atmosphere when everybody's very cliquish and it felt very like, all right, well, like this is good. This is good. We ended up leaving. We were there for like, I don't know. We ended up, so that we came out with that on New Year's and within like, I don't know, a week of that, we ended up sick. We had COVID in our house. And like, I was, I was out for, like, I remember I didn't do like, we do streams like, I don't know, probably at least 5 days a week, between his music and me. And, so I literally, like, I was out for the count. Like, I felt bad. Like, I couldn't really do my streams. I was really like, oh my gosh. And during that time period, just a bunch of more, like, bullshit happened. You guys were censored on things. And so we decided that, they were playing too many games and it was too childish. And I was like, I don't need this stress from all of this. I'm like, we're done. Like when they announced, they did that stupid like announcement thing of like Jimmy was taking over and Shane and they were a 501c and it was women run suddenly and like,
but aren't they a 501c3?
I don't know because the name keeps changing. The name changed from KRTD to Carbros or whatever, and Jimmy was the head, and I don't know if she is anymore. Like, there's all this stuff happening within as a network, so I never accused anybody of personally, like, besides him calling for me to be taken off the stream. I still joined that network. I still cared enough to try to put the effort towards this. And I need everyone to understand that this is not a vengeful thing for me. This isn't like, something I'm happy about or like, oh, yay, I really, like, I am, just a quick background for me growing up. I was a military brat. I was a stepchild. I was to be seen and not heard. My voice was not to be heard. I was silenced. And if I did something wrong, I got my ass kicked. Okay. I have some serious like shit that happened to me as a child. And that's probably why I am such a freedom of speech absolutist, is because I'm like, no, nobody should be able to repress my speech. Nobody should tell me that I have to go stand over there and not speak. That's just not who I am. I never conformed my entire life. I have integrity. I believe in truth, and I believe that we need to stop worrying about offending every little person over everything, because we don't know until we reach that line of where the offensive happens, that line of like where that boundary is. How do we know? And we're not like, we as a culture, we need to stop trying to be just polite society. Screw that. What has polite society gotten us? It's gotten us war, and war is murder. Okay. So like, like so I have really like, who I am is who I am. Like, it's who I've been my whole life. I'm not going to let somebody silence me. And so I felt like after that stream, and I got reassurances, that like, that's not who we are as a network. That's not how it's run. And this is from Shane McLaughlin. I can't even say his last name.
Did he tell you that he ever spoke one-on-one with Joe?
Jimmy told me that they spoke to him about it. Joe Firestone. He never came in to apologize to me. She was absolutely like, I can't believe he did that. That was wrong. Like, she, said it was wrong what he did. She absolutely agreed at that time and supported me. And that's why we said, okay, well, we can still do this with you, because you are still, you see that this is wrong. It's not going to happen going forward. Okay. Because like, how do you have shows on there that are about the truth and that are like, freedom of speech, absolute, freedom of speech. And when I say freedom of speech, I am also saying, though, that it is not okay. Like, there are laws in place that prevent things like abusive, like verbiage, which we will get to.
Like, you can see on the stream, there were no insults, no name calling, no nothing. That is a very different story. If someone was on my show and they were like, fuck you, bitch, or something, yeah, I'd probably cut the mic. Yeah, I'd probably say, you're a fucking, don't talk to me like that. That is a very different story. For cutting the mic,
I wasn't being abusive. I'm not an abusive human. I literally, like, I'm a single disabled mom. I have my, it's just, I don't even usually even talk about like my disabilities or, all the things that do put limitations on me. I try to like not let those like define me, and it's really freaking hard. And just, there's just a lot of privilege happening over there. I'm not a privileged person. I am not privileged. I don't get to just say, oh, I want to go buy this or like, oh, I need groceries. Let me just go swipe my card. No, I have to check and make sure that like, like I am not I'm not in any way a privileged person. I'm not saying anything against somebody who's privileged, but I am not like I'm not in that position. I'm not in that position. I've
So, I mean, on that note, I really want to talk about what it's like being a woman and a disabled woman doing live streams, because I've been doing it almost 5 years. I just became blind 2 years ago. So I,
yeah,
I,
your story like makes me cry every time I hear it. So like, let's not, please, because I don't
no,
want to
I
cry.
won't.
No, I'm like kidding. No, it does though. It does. Like the first time I heard it, I was just like, oh my god, like, fuck, like that's insane.
But it's, this is a very, for years, I was the only woman who did a show by herself, like for years. And it was, I was kind of like dumb to it at first. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do a show. And then I realized, oh my God, all these comments are about the way I look. And they're all, perverted. And they're all, calling me young lady. And I'm gonna be 43 next month.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 43 this year. We're just like the same age.
And you deal with these things that men don't have to. You deal with these things that I never see comments like this in men's streams. Now, and then add disability onto being a woman. And it is, and I want people to understand, this is not using it as an excuse. This is saying that it makes it all the more difficult, and it makes you that much more nervous about being accepted, and that much more apprehensive that you're going to be heard. I know that my viewership went down when I started going blind and I had to go like this to press certain buttons. I know my viewership went down. I'm not ignorant. I saw it. So, no pun intended. But, so you witness these things. I know I used to read the comments out loud and people loved it so much. I can't do that anymore. So I know I'm not that same person, and I witnessed that those view numbers have gone down. I mean, it's just a fact. And people may say, oh, but it's okay. Well, it should be okay, but so being a disabled woman on the air, what are some of the things that you found that create difficulty, not just physically, but as far as doing the so-called job itself?
Oh gosh. Okay, so a little bit of background with like I don't like talk about it I'm not ashamed of it. I just don't like, some people might not know. So I'll give a little bit of basic history. So I have a spinal fusion in my lower back. I've had 2 back surgeries. I was 21. I was in a bad car accident. I was rear-ended in that car accident. I was a passenger, and that day completely and forever changed my entire life, like hands down. Since that day I had to have I had a first back surgery which was unsuccessful, and then the second one which put the screws and the rods back in my lower back. So I have that, which is a very physically like demanding, like when your back hurts, it. It's the core of your body. And I've been dealing with it for a long time. I don't take pain meds for it. I'm really, really proud about that. But so besides that, I also deal with things like fibromyalgia and like Lyme disease. And I have some pretty severe PTSD, a lot from the abuse that I suffered, throughout my childhood, and also because of the car accident that I was in and stuff like that. Like there's a lot that, ties with that. So Leo, my little dog, he is a service dog. He's for post-traumatic stress disorder. So I have him. So I deal with a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, physical pain. And then when I get stressed out, like it physically hurts me. I physically feel it in my body. I physically so dealing with this kind of thing, it stresses me out. And I lose sleep over it. My insomnia kicks in. Like it kind of does this whole thing. And people are like, oh, well, just don't worry about it, or don't do what you do. No, I'm sorry. That's just not who I am. I am going to stand up and I'm going to say what's right. I'm going to speak my truth and I do what I love. So, like that's not going to change. It's the, like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it really bothers me when people say, well, just don't do it anymore. This has been my life for 5 years. Like this is something I research. I do. I mean, doing things like interviewing Steven Donziger and stuff like this is my life. Like this is life changing. This is what gives me pride. This is
what gets us out of bed.
Right? Yeah, like I literally hate my life, but at least I get to do this. Like, it's so for someone to just be like, well, people are assholes, just stop doing it. No, how about people stop being assholes?
Yeah. Or people want me to not call like, oh, well, if it causes you, emotional distress and pain and this and that, then, just ignore them. Like, no, that's that you are asking me to sacrifice my integrity and who I am and everything that I fought for. And the reason why I get you know what I mean? Like the reason why I literally have a problem with authority. It is in my medical records. That's why I have a service dog. Part of why I have a service dog, and so and then I deal with all kinds of, just the regular, everybody has their their shit that they deal with. And it's like, so having to deal with all of the disabilities and everything else on top of, what I mean, just ordinary life, it can be really frustrating. It can be really hard. There's days where I'm like, man, I don't want to get up out of bed and go and do that. I don't want to go do my show. The depression wants to suck me in and just say, no, just you can, but I do it. And it makes me feel better, and being able to talk about it and being able to relate to people and express it. So it's like, it's going to happen. I'm going to deal with my disabilities and all of those things, no matter what. I don't want to make them worse, but I'm going to have to deal with them anyway. And I'm doing what I love here. But it's really hard for me sometimes to I want to go out and do, events, or I want to do certain things. Like there's a lot of restriction when it comes to the financial aspect of it, or is my body gonna let me do that? Because there's days where if there's rain coming, my body knows it, my body feels it. I mean, it is a whole body thing. And it takes a lot out of me sometimes just to be able to do do this. But I love what we do. I love this. This is having a sense of community when everybody is so divided, and everybody was just completely separated from one another, and to find this amazing heartbeat of a community and be able to do that, that's what keeps me going. You know what I mean? Besides, my, it's not the only thing, but it's one of the major things that keeps me going. It's I miss that connection with people. I miss that. When before, before all this happened with, the whole lockdowns and everything else that's happened, Steve and I were out all the time, interacting with people. I was the person with the random person at the bar crying on my shoulder while he was playing, a gig, and Leo and I are helping that person through things. And I was kind of, my nickname, oh my gosh, You're gonna love this. Mama Bear.
Oh, girl.
Fucking AOC took that shit from me, you know, like it still is like my nickname because that's who I am as a person. I am that. I am like I'm the person that, you know, you call at 3 a.m. because you need help, you know? Like all this like, you know, compassion and love and that I was having outward in our community just completely just disintegrated. But I found it in this online community and it's amazing. And that keeps me going, you know, like it, like, God, life is freaking hard enough. We don't need to be harder on each other. You know, I want to be here to support each other and to build each other up. And, you know, I want other women to support the other women and, you know, like not stomp on them. Like, it's just, and then to have all that, like, just, you know, the rug just completely like pulled out from under me. And then the ripple effect of that, I'm sure that you know this within, you know, the sphere of the media and like, you know, streamers and stuff. It's like something happens and it has like this whole ripple effect. Like, it's like, oh, you know, like people like suddenly they want to avoid a certain person because there might be something or it might cause it.
I'm just going to be straight up though. I've worked with practically every fucking independent streamer. I've been on Jimmy Dore. I've been on Humanist Report countless times. I do a monthly show with Ron. I've gone on Graham mostly. I mean, I've worked with everyone pretty much except TYT because they suck balls. But what I will say is that every fucking person I've ever had a problem with is at that network. I'm just going to be real. That network.
Common denominator. Graham has an issue with me. He has a major issue with me. Yep. He attacked me. He called Steve a cunt and I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, it's on video. I asked a question. I asked him why he was silencing and deleting people's comments on a live stream and he lost his shit on me. Censorship, baby. I equally will call it out across the board.
I miss so much. Jesus. Oh my God. See,
yeah.
See, sometimes I find out stuff like that and I'm just like, but it's like, you know.
Yeah, and this just happened the other day. He's like, Lucky Burrito, you're an idiot. And he blocked me.
It's just so frustrating because it's like, you know, I've worked.
Yeah, Graham Elwood owes me an apology. He owes me an apology.
Yeah, I had no idea at all. I had no idea. That sucks. I mean, my ferret is the ferret that he would refer to as the ferret in the hat, Neville the Devil. That's my ferret. Like, him and Lee Camp were doing a stream one day and they were like randomly said ferrets and hats, right? Like, and we were watching one of the live streams later. They did a lot of the comedy Zoom streams at the beginning of the pandemic. And so Graham knew us because we were supporters. I supported the show on Rockfin. Like, I was a Rockfin supporter. Like, one of like his channel he was the reason that he got me over there to like go there as, you know, a customer or consumer, whatever. And so like we sponsored his channel, like, and I would super ray him all the time, like we were big supporters of him. And so it was a Zoom stream where Ron and Steve played guitar on one of those together. Like at the end of it, it was funny. It was cute. But yeah, like, so it was one like with Jimmy Dore and Dana White and all the comedians were doing the Zoom thing. And it was like really, it was fun because it was really kind of like an intimate thing. Like you got to kind of hang out with, like all these amazing comedians, and it wasn't a lot of people in the streams. So it was like, and you were on video so they could see you, so it was fun and you could talk with them. And the Saturday night things.
Yeah. So
yeah. Okay.
One of them, Lee Camp and Graham Elwood had said something about ferrets and hats. So like when Graham came on, we were like, oh my God. And I had Neville, my ferret, in his hat, in a freaking little hat. And I showed it to him, and he became part of his skit. You know, like when I say, like, I, you know what I mean, like, I know who all these guys are, like I do. And it was really heartbreaking because I asked him a question at the beginning of everything, and I said they were doing their show, Government Secrets on the pandemic in 1918, the Spanish flu or whatever. And I said, and he told people to go get the vaccine so they could go to his shows. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, that's not right. Don't tell people to go get something done medically to support you at a fucking show. That's not fucking right. That's a fucking grift. That's not okay. And he lost his shit.
The one thing I will say is, like, when I opened up for Jimmy Dore in Los Angeles, people had to. They had to show their cards. And
okay, but telling your audience to go get it so that you can go.
I get it. I get it.
That's like, not okay.
But I will just say,
I'm not going to take medical advice from a comedian anyway, but like, that's just me.
No.
You know, but like
Right.
To me, it's like, don't tell me to go get something done medically. To like, how do you know what if that killed somebody? Like, you don't know like the effect of that you're not a doctor. Don't fucking do that. So he lost his shit on me then. And then, just like it's been like 7 months or something like that. Cause I asked, like, so where is like your evidence or whatever? Like, why are you trusting the government and why are you trusting this? You know, like, I wanted to know, like, you're telling me to do something. Why should I trust it? Like, I'm like thinking, okay, maybe he knows something I don't know. You know, I want evidence. You're telling me to do something like this, like, you know, like, back it up. And he got mad and like just completely lost his shit on me. So yeah, Graham knows exactly. He knows who we are. He kicked us off the other day. He actually blocked us and laughed about it. And it was really awful and mean. And yeah. So, you know,
that really sucks.
That really fucking, I mean, and I wrote to Steph Zamorano. I wrote to her, like, dude, can we get a mental health check on Graham? Like, and it was like weeks after that had happened. Cause I was like, all right, well, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, I let time go by after it happened. And I was really freaking hurt by it. And I reached out to her, even though like I wasn't like, you know, over like watching his shows and stuff anymore. I was just still like, I really felt strongly enough that like, oh my gosh, like, I hope someone's checking in on him. Is he okay? You know what I mean? Like, is he okay? And then, yeah, like just the other day, Steve was in there and, you know, like Steve said something. I think it was, he was talking about guns. And yeah, Graham feels a certain way about guns. And, so he said something, apparently Steve had said something about a gun or whatever in there, and he was like, "Oh, you're a fucking cunt," and blocked him and laughed about it. And then I was like, "Why are you deleting people's comments that are, you know what I mean? Like, why are you just deleting people's comments?" He's like, "Because I can." Like this crazy, like vindictive, like maniacal, like you're an idiot, Lucky Burrito, and yeah, like there's a whole video. He censored me too. So.
You know, I just hate hearing shit like that. It's so.
It sucks when you know when it's someone you like, you know, or you care about, and like they do that. You know, it's like, what the fuck?
Well, and you know, just to bring it back, someone I know and have cared about very much, and absolutely said I loved a million times for the past 4 years, is the reason we're doing this show. So, do you want to explain what happened yesterday on Twitter?
Okay. So, I should probably pull it up so I quote it properly.
And this hurt. Like, this hurt. Because I unfriended her a couple weeks ago because of, to me, you are the company you keep. And I cannot, even if I care about her, I can't, if I, you know, am repulsed by the people she hangs out with, I just can't keep like ignoring it, you know. So I unfriended her. I didn't block her or anything. But this was upsetting.
Sorry, I'm grabbing of course, like this doesn't want to reach. Are you going to bed? All right, I love you. So let me. Sorry, I'm trying to find my phone with all my screenshots. So I was oh my gosh. Oh my god. There's so much to this. It's like ridiculous. So the other day, like Jimmy Saves World, she is I don't know what she is at KRTD anymore. I don't know. At the time she was our colleague, like I said before.
She's like a manager, director, something. She's like the head of it, whatever.
Yeah, like it's
whatever it is.
They've changed it a few times, so I don't exactly, you know. But basically, I said something about how the sorry the I've talked a couple times about the censorship that's happened over there. I haven't really like gone, into any kind of like crazy full throttle like detail about all of it. But I was saying something about oh gosh, sorry, I should have pulled these up beforehand. There's so many. Oh my gosh. Because it started a couple of days ago. It started with because I referred sorry. Like my brain is like half working.
We can just read it. We don't need to see it.
Oh, okay. So I said something to her about how like they censor people over there on the network. On the network. Because there was some Twitter stuff happening and I got tagged in it and it was about I think the Red Berets. And so oh yeah, she said that she wanted proof that they censor. So the network never said her individually. Okay, so yeah, I said, "Oh, so you don't censor people at your network, really?" And she said, "Prove it." So I had Steve make the video clip of Firestone for me, and then what happens from there? This was like on the 22nd. She says, "Go for it. Say my name. My lawyer will be up your ass. This is why I stopped talking to you. You feed off this dumb shit. You've been whining censorship for so long. It's like you want to keep it going. Just so you get going, so you get views. Pathetic." And I said, "Oh, I wasn't going to do a show on it, but good idea." And so she's trying to tell me that they don't censor people over on their network. So then she's threatening me. She threatened me with a lawyer. And yeah, I don't do well with that or being silenced. It's not like I, gave the background like, that's not in my nature to just like, shut up and sit down or whatever it is. So yesterday there's like a bunch of tweets that have gone on, between and all this and that, like a bunch of, so much. But the tweet that really got me was talk to a lawyer. They said it's cheaper to get on a plane and go out there and just beat your ass. Shut the fuck up already. You pick me, bitch.
What's a pick me?
Oh, it's like a girl like trying to I'll Google the definition of it because
I wasn't sure if it was a typo or what. Didn't know
No,
what that
it's a type of like it's an insult. Apparently, is what it's supposed to be. Urban Dictionary, the top definition of pick me girl is a girl who goes out of her way to impress men by ensuring she's not like other girls. It's gendered. It's important to note that there are male versions of it. Like, oh, simps or nice guys, I guess.
Oh, gotcha.
So I go out of my way to do that, or there's a bunch of different definitions for it. So I'm not really sure exactly like which way she was implying.
It was pejorative. It was pejorative.
And they call it internalized misogyny is what they call it. Internalized misogyny. Like, yeah. I don't know. But like, yeah, I don't act a certain way just to for anybody else. But she
I mean, the issue was the threat of physical violence, and
imagine the resources.
The tweet was deleted, but there was also another tweet after that affirmed, yes, I did say that, and yes, that is what I meant.
Yeah, because I ask, I'm like, really? Like, you're threatening me? Let me see, where is it?
And you guys can see all this stuff on Lucky's Twitter. It's just, it's hard for me because this is someone I've cared about for years, and it's disappointing to people at that network have really, they like feed off of each other, the negative energy. And it's, it's hard to explain if you haven't been part of their attacks and things like that. But there is a very negative aura around. I don't know everyone on the network, but so I'll just say most of the people.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch of new shows over there. There's a bunch of people I do not know over there. When I'm talking about that network, though, I'm talking about like the head core people that I worked with, like, Okay, so I wrote back and said, because she's gonna fly across the country, guys. She's gonna fly across the country to do this. I said, who threatened a lawyer to fly across the country to physically harm who? Because she's calling me abusive. I'm abusive. She said that, I threatened a lawyer to fly across the country and physically harm who? I hope you do get some help and stop punching down. And she goes, yeah, I did, because you keep dragging this shit and you've been going to other media people and talking lies about me. I've been silent for months, hoping you would just shut up, and you haven't. I'm defending my future and you're fucking gossip and lies. And I'm at my wit's end and ready to fight. Yep. That's one. She confirms it there. And then like she was all over the place. Like and then another response to me was, and yeah, I threatened to kick your ass, because how else am I supposed to stop you from going to other media people and telling lies about me? It's threat with lawyer, and when I defend myself, you don't stop when I stay silent. What other option do I have now? And actively censoring you now? How do you think I have so much power to do that? You're crying wolf. I don't see how you and your friends don't see it. And she said, in reference to the threat, she said, yeah, I did, because you keep dragging this shit. Going to other media people talking lies about me. I've been silent for months, hoping you would just shut up. I'm defending my future. So yeah, she literally affirms that she threatened to fly across the entire country to come and beat my ass because I wouldn't stop telling other people things about her. I'm not like you can like people can go back and look at like all my videos. Like every once in a while I do say something about it, but it's not like some like hot topic for me. I go days and days without going on Twitter. Like I'm not like all up on her. And
So, I mean, I'll ask you straight up. Have you gone to other people on independent media behind the scenes and like said negative things about her?
I've said that their network is. I've said exactly nothing more than what I've said more here on this stream than I have anywhere else, and I've said it all publicly. I don't think that I'm like
you more say it about the network, is what you're saying. You don't.
Yeah, their network censors people. And now, when I was calling out the censorship, she threatened me with an attorney, and if I said her name, if it came out of my name came out of her mouth, if her name came out of my mouth, that she was going to come after me with an attorney for defamation of whatever. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're not going to silence me over saying that people at your network are silencing people.
It's really bananas because if I threatened a lawsuit for everyone who has attacked me personally, and I'm not saying that's what you did, but I'm saying like I literally have had someone harassing me, bullying me, and stalking me for over a year, to the point that they doxed me. They use fake pictures of me. They take pictures of like obese naked women and put my face on them. They have threatened to call Social Security and tell them I'm lying and I'm not really blind. You name it. I've been through hell and back, and I can't even get a lawyer.
Like actual abuse.
Even
like
take their coat down. So, I mean,
I don't have some vindictive side to this woman. Like I really don't know her that well. I know that you know what I mean? Like the act of saying, if you say my name, I'm going to get a lawyer and come after you. If you speak, if you don't shut up, if you don't stop with this censorship stuff, like it is, there is so much of it. Like I'm going to have to piece it all the tweets and all the things together, because it's so much. It's like, I just want to, I
know what I'm risking doing this show. But at the same time, I'm just so sick of these people. Not her. I haven't personally dealt with issues with her until probably after today. But the people on that network have caused me so much stress, anxiety. I literally resigned from M for M for All after doing 16-hour days and, being a lead national organizer on 56 events, because I could not take their attacks anymore. That's how bad it was. It was like crippling me with depression and anxiety.
It physically affects you, just like what I was saying. It physically affects you when people are doing that kind of attack to you. It physically affects you. It's like, especially, just in general, it can physically affect you. Like depression, just the stress of it affects you. And then if you have something else health wise, like your body's already like in that, like that kind of like defense, mode type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you're already in like that survival, like, stress mode. So your body's already there.
I think why it hits me so hard is because these people say they're for Medicare for all, and they're punching down on disabled people and, constantly attacking, behind fake accounts and harassing and bullying, and I never even say their name, and it's just non-stop. And the fact that the actual organizations itself are still putting this shit out, are still attacking people personally and everything. I'm sorry, but I don't understand why anyone would want to be part of an organization who personally attacks people. I don't understand that. I don't.
People are more outraged over what happened with Will Smith than somebody that they actually know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, this is heartbreaking. You know, it is absolutely freaking heartbreaking. And it's heartbreaking that there's this whole political vibe within the sphere of everything of, oh no, everything just needs to be okay. It needs to be okay. It needs to be okay. It's not fucking okay. This is not okay to treat people this way. It's not okay to I mean, the astronomical amount of privilege that is behind a statement like that. Like, I'm going to come across the entire country to cause physical harm to you. Now, let's break that down real quick. Let's think about this. You have that much hurt and anger towards me for talking about how I was censored. And when a topic has come up again, I've said something about it. I never, like, I was just like, I can't deal with, I can't deal with the censorship, that network, and then to threaten me with an attorney to silence me, to try to get me to self-censor, like, you just proved your freaking point. You proved your point. If you have to tell me that you're going to get a lawyer to come at me because I'm saying that your network is censoring people, and it is, people know that they do. People are aware. People are not stupid. People knew it before I came along. I'm just saying the quiet part out loud, I guess, and not ignoring the elephant in the room. So I don't want other people to, like, I've lost friends, people that I thought were friends because of that network. And I don't want that to continue to happen to other people. And I'm calling it out because I don't care if I have 5 subscribers or 0 subscribers. Nobody should be censoring anybody. So to threaten somebody with an attorney because you don't like what they are saying, if it doesn't have any legs, it won't freaking go anywhere. What lies am I supposedly saying? How am I lying about this? I'm not. I'm an honest person. I'm not lying. Like, I don't have any freaking reason to. It causes me it physically causes me pain. It's physically harmed me. I am not for self-harm. Like, I am trying to be a positive person in the world and doing the best that I possibly can and putting that energy out there and helping anybody that I possibly can. That's who I am. And so to come at me and question my integrity when I'm not doing anything wrong, to try to say that you're going to get an attorney to come at me over saying that you're censoring people, that is censoring people. By doing that, you're proving your point. And then when I don't shut up and I say your name. Then I say, yeah, Jimmy, you're the one doing it because you are the one inflicting that directly on me with your threats of an attorney. And then after I don't shut up about that, you decide that you're going to, again, on public forum on Twitter, you're going to tell me that you talk to an attorney now, and that attorney has advised you that it would be cheaper to fly out here and come beat my ass. So you're going to take all of that hate and anger, which I don't know where it's all coming from. I really don't. I don't know how you could be so angry at somebody that you've never met. My words are really, like, I don't know. Maybe there's some evidence that of a in a video clip that maybe like that she has, that she thinks that I did something wrong.
I don't care. It doesn't. I mean, physical violence, being threatened. I don't really care if you just said, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, like, whatever. And I know you didn't, but, like, even if someone said that shit to me,
I might have said fuck you on air, or I don't know.
Do what?
I could have said fuck you to air on air, you know, like I've been really like, you know, I haven't been overly like, you know, crazy about it on air. Like most people that watch the show, like watch, you know, like they know how I am. And so the resources alone, the cost of leaving your family, of going and going to an airport, flying across the country to find a person that you don't even know, that has not caused you any direct harm in any way. Like I'm not trying. I wanted to have her on my show and do a series with her. Like she was my colleague. I was happy about that, you know, and like, and most people that watched didn't even realize like why everything had happened the way it did. So you have the finances to do that. That's quite a bit of privilege to that you think you're going to help the world by getting on a big jet airplane and go inflict violence on a disabled woman across the country. That's the representative of that network. That's how she's representing herself and them over me saying that they censor people. That's what I've said.
Well, and you know, that brings up the question, should people, and I'm asking this, I'm not, you know, I really want answers when I ask this. Should people treat the lead of an organization as representative of that organization? Like if you are the head of an organization and you say something like that, would you still follow that organization? Would you still donate to that organization? I personally would not. I personally would, you know, kind of just cut ties. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't give them Patreon. I wouldn't watch their shows. I wouldn't, because to me, that is like you are the head of it. And unless
if you're using if you're using a profile on a social media site like Twitter, and you are using that profile as a representative of the organization that you work for, and you're doing, you know, like media relations and stuff like that, and that's how you interact, that's, you know what I mean, like that's who you are, and they're tied together, right? Because if you're representing people, if you're using that for that purpose, for like the purpose of talking to people about coming on the show, coming on, you know, your network, you know what I mean, like if you're reaching out to people in that way, if it's not like a separate thing, you know what I mean, and we're talking about a network, and then she's privately then inserting herself, and I'm talking about the network censoring, and then she turned that into I was saying it to her. So she took those two and made them into one. She made the KRTD and Jimmy into one thing because I said the network, and then she came at me with, I'm going to personally like get you, you know what I mean? Like I'm going to get an attorney to get, you know, you better shut up and blah, blah, blah. And then my attorney gave her, you know, according to her, the attorney gave her the advice to then fly out because it's cheaper. Like, do you know what it would take, Joy, for me to be able to not only to maintain that anger and that all that hate and all that energy, like that you would think would be, you know, go freaking vote out the incumbents or something. I don't know. Like, you know,
if
like
I had money to fly somewhere, it sure wouldn't be to beat someone's ass.
what would the challenges be for you to go fly as a disabled woman? How would that challenging? How challenging would that be to you? Because for me, logistic wise, with my physical stuff, my mental health stuff, the fact that I have a service dog, the financial means, like that is a whole lot of energy to put towards physical violence. You're talking about like breaking the law and going and harming another person. Like that, like you're talking about abusing a person. Like that is a lot of hate, a lot of effort into, you know what I mean? It's not like you're like, oh, I'm so mad, I'm gonna go punch out my neighbor that like is right there. You know what I mean? You want to go across the entire country and put that much effort and energy into it. What the hell am I doing that would ever deserve that? And she thinks that that's gonna make me be quiet? Like, are you kidding me? Like, she spoiled her own. She represented them by saying, by jumping into action with me saying that a network was censoring people, and then she took that personally and turned that into Jimmy is network of KRTD or whatever network they are now, or Carbro or whatever. She internalized that and made that her. She made that a personal attack onto her, which I wasn't personally going after her, because up until that point, the network was censoring, not her personally. But now, not only has she threatened me with an attorney if I say things, that didn't work. So then she's threatened me with physical violence the night of the Oscars. I mean, what is happening? Like, what is happening? Like, did she get really excited? I mean, what the hell? I mean, like, it's like Will Smith, like, she channeled it, you know, like, and I don't know her. You know her better than I do. I wish her health.
I do.
I wish her health. I hope that she gets some help for this, because that is not okay to do to anybody. It is not okay to I would defend myself if somebody was attacking me, but I don't go and hurt anybody. That is completely the absolute opposite. How do you go and save the fucking world by jumping on a plane and going and beating my ass? Really? That's what you're going to put your effort towards in the middle of this. That is wrong. That is toxic. That is toxic. And that is the representative of that network.
And I think that's what it comes down to. Because the discussion was about the network. So I think that's where, if this was just a one-on-one dispute between you ladies and you hate each other or whatever, that's one thing. That's an independent, that's person in person. But the discussion was about the actual network. And I think that's where people need to look at it and be like, okay, well, this person is representing the network when they are talking about this. And people need to make their own decisions. I just wanted to give you a chance to, I mean, I watched that video last night and I was just so fucking upset. I've just never seen such a thing. I really haven't.
And after that happened, I still had faith and was still gave them the benefit of the doubt as a network as a whole. I didn't take what Joe Firestone did and say, oh no, that means that Jimmy did that. You know, I didn't do that. I did the opposite. I said, okay, he's one individual within that network that did this thing that was not good. And after having conversation with her and realize, like, you know what I mean? It wasn't the fit for us. It wasn't the fit. A place that does any kind of censorship is just not the right fit for me. And we're better off doing our own thing. And, you know, like, so I did not look at one person's actions and make that the entire network. I looked past that. I did that. And then she took that, you know, me saying that the network themselves, because it's like saying, you know, like, think of any mainstream media network, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so say CNN, you know what I mean? Like, that network as a whole, they do blah, blah, blah as a blanket statement. They, you know what I mean? Like, they do this thing. And then it's like Brian Stelter coming and saying, oh, and then doing that thing that I said the whole network does, and then him saying, like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, you're kind of doing that now too.
You know, in fairness, you know, the other lead of the org has told me I'm not a real journalist, has told me, oh, just tons of things. So no, I don't have any respect for him or the streamers I know, whoever's on there, because I find that disgusting. And I don't like when people come in my comments when we're live because they know I can't even fucking see them and I can't defend myself. And that's really fucking upsetting. And then I get off the air and I'm like, oh my God, they're telling me I'm acting like a child and I'm not a real journalist because I won't have people in a super PAC on my show, stuff like that,
Wait, you have morals? Really? You really got those things,
No, I should really make
those
an
pesky
exception for
morals and
people who,
integrity.
for people who are incredibly ugly to me, I will make an exception. You're welcome to come on anytime. It's bananas. And, like I said, I want everyone to know, you all watch me, you all know I do not do shows like this. I don't. But this just really set me off because this org has been so hateful to not just me, but to so many of my comrades and to M for M for All as a whole. Our 20-hour network stream 2 weeks ago, 3 fucking days, over 20 hours of panels with healthcare workers, doctors, disabled people with medical horror stories, people with medical bills out the wazoo, all these things, over 20 hours of panels with these people, and we were trashed. Absolutely trashed.
I started watching what the Red Berets did, their reaction to what you did, and I couldn't stomach it. I couldn't stomach it, Joy. What they were saying about I was heartbroken. I was like, I could not believe that after you guys spent 3 days doing a whole entire summit and having these amazing, brilliant people, and some of them I didn't agree with. Oh my God. I didn't agree with some of the people. Oh, wow. Because that's how we find where we do agree, though, right? That's where we find where we're closer together, is when we find out where we don't agree. We find out, okay, well, we do agree over here. But I tried to digest a lot of that. I definitely want to have a larger discussion about Medicare for all, because I definitely feel like it's really important. And I was kind of like for it, and then kind of like and then kind of like I want to understand more. I'm reserving my judgment on it, on not in general, but it's a whole different thing. But I want to have a larger topic about that. And I love that you guys did that panel. That was amazing work that you guys put so much effort into, and wow. And then they sat there and trashed you. I only got through, I think, half of it. Steve was watching with me, and we were just like, I'm like, I can't, I gotta turn this off. I was just kind of like, holy shit, they're completely trashing you, degrading you, acting as though you don't know what you're doing because they didn't. Oh, it was fine up until this point. Oh yeah, that was fine. It's like, who the fuck asked for your goddamn fucking critique, as if you're the teacher and no one no one else can touch this. Fuck you. Not to you, but
Joe said, look, I only watched that 1 hour. So why the fuck are you talking about the whole summit if you only watched 1 hour? Furthermore, how dare you insult, belittle, and name call 2 women who have been fighting for Medicare for all for over 30 years, one of whom is a medical doctor, over 30 years. And then to say things like they did zero research and they don't know what they're talking about, over 30 years. How fucking dare you? So, it's stuff like that. It's just, it's so disgusting and it's pathetic. And you know what?
It's toxic. It's like a cancer. And unless we it's not, we're not saying go and cancel people. We're saying this is not okay. This is not okay. Adults should not be behaving this way. And if people are going to cover up for this behavior, then you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. We don't have time for this.
And let's be clear. When you are trashing a forum, an actual forum, you are trashing every fucking person who spent months organizing it. You're trashing every single person who was a speaker on it. And let me tell you something. 2 people who were on the panels, both people of color and disabled, saw those streams and they were fucking disgusted. Because you're linking them all together. You're saying this forum sucked and you're judging everyone who was a part of it. How are you really about that movement? How? Because if you don't like people, that's one thing. I don't like your asses either. But I'm not going to trash Medicare for all and trash activists, real activists, not people who get a paycheck. Not people in super PACs. Activists.
Yeah, we all get. Yeah, there's no.
And so that's the thing. When you are going at an entire forum because you don't like the people or what have you, guess what? They did I don't know if it was a 2-day, 3-day, whatever it was, the weekend before. We never said a word because we didn't fucking watch it. We didn't care.
I don't subscribe to their channels, and I know other people that are over there on that network that do shows, and I'm friends with the people. They know how I feel about it. They know what happened previously. We haven't talked about this recent stuff that happened, and I don't have some kind of absolute, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, you can't be, part of something over here because I'm not part of it. It's not like that. It's not some kind of like, it's not about some cliquish fucking bullshit for me.
It is with
them.
But
for them, it is. It is. It absolutely is. I'm not like I said, I lost somebody that I considered to be a colleague and a friend. We don't work together anymore because of that, because I was getting double-sided language about them, and the toxicity over there just is it's completely it's insane. I've never dealt with this kind of shit. I organized a mom's group when my daughter's 18 now. When she was little, I organized a mom's group where it was moms and there was a couple single dads, but a lot of female, you get a lot of females together in an organization and you can get some freaking, some drama, no problems. I've organized, I've worked in within my own community. I've never had issues like this. Ever. It is insane and it's toxic and I don't know what else to do besides calling it out, because I don't want more people to fall victim to that. You know what I mean? I'm not here for people to I'm not here to cause harm to people. I love people. I want us to work together and figure out our differences, or at least come to some sort of agreement where we meet in the middle. And it's you can't do that when you have this huge toxicity in the middle of that. And I don't know. I It's so frustrating. It's
It's
so
sad.
frustrating
It
because
really
like
is.
you don't
And
want to be drama, like you don't want to be doing like drama shit and like all this and that. No, I want to be. I wish that we were having a conversation about other things right now that we didn't have to stop and take our first stream ever together and do this. Like I wish it was like
last night I did a stream with one of my co-hosts, Andrew. We're talking about fucking racism in Ukraine. We're talking about imperialism. We're talking about fucking CIA and shit. And now today we're like, let's talk about drama on Twitter. But you know what? I never do it, and I felt the need, and I'm glad that you agreed to join. I'm glad everyone in the audience is commenting. I cannot read what they say.
yeah, I've been kind of seeing it. Like yeah, it's a lot of the people that it's some of the new people. I don't know everybody in here, but let me see. Let's see who we have, and I'll like we can give everybody a shout out if you want. See who what friends do we have in our chat? Because I love our chat fam. Like our chat fam is amazing, and like I think it's awesome because I can go into like so many of these different chats and be like, oh my God, I'm just having a bad day. Like I just, I don't even have to tell people what it is or what, you know what I mean? The amount of support, the amount of beautiful support that we get from people, it's like,
seriously.
Or it's like, or they're like, oh, check out this stream. Did you miss this one? Because there's a lot of stuff happening.
Absolutely. And you know what? I tell this to my husband because he doesn't do like social media or anything. And I tell him.
Lucky him.
Like, what?
Lucky him.
Right?
I just do Twitter, like really.
But it's like, he doesn't understand when I say, I have some really beautiful friends online who I love so much. And he doesn't understand how I could love people I don't know. But there is this connection that you can have.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. In a world where we're all so divided and disconnected. I mean, I've had friends in Australia and Pakistan on my stream at the same time. I mean, how mind-blowing is that? Like we're on at the same time, like oh yeah, we were gonna say hi to everybody. We have Trish T in the chat and Gamer and Ganja for life. Gamer. I love Gamer. Like you guys are so awesome. And we have Vegan Succubus. Hey lady. She's so beautiful. Such a beautiful lady over there doing such great work. And Dingo ate me, baby.
Dingo.
And there's Steve in there, Steve Cutler live. I think he went upstairs while we were talking because usually we're in the same room and like just kind of like let us roll with it. So I appreciate that, Steve. Let's see, Barbara and Jonathan, Cadmon. Did I say that right?
Jonathan, he knows firsthand what we're talking about.
Oh my God, are we all like?
Everyone in here is like a support group, pretty much.
It's like, can we bond over something besides this? Like, we gotta bond over something else. Let's see, who else is in here, you guys? Let's see. I'm scrolling through. We got Jenna. Jenna's gone. She has the dog, right? Boogers.
Jenna Whoopty, yeah.
And let's see. I don't know who else is up here. I see more Vegan and Trish. Okay, let me go down the bottom. Let me see what they yeah, Gamer and Ganja for Life said, yep, great community. We do. We have a music community. Like it's just freaking. Yeah, Gamer said Mr. Wilson and Oz Whistles. Yes, we had them both on at the same time across the world. And we're in Connecticut in the US. I was like, what? How amazing. Let's see. What are you guys saying? Steve said, welcome to the KRTD support group. My name is Steve. I was censored. Listen.
Hi, my name is Joy. I've been victimized by people at that network. And now you all say, "Hi, Joy."
Hi, Joy.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
I
God.
haven't days. I don't know why. I'm like, I don't know. Oh my god.
We talked about such like, you know what? That's a lot of emotion that we just went through, and you know, like,
For
and we
real.
talked about, and it's not fun. That's not fun.
It's
I
not.
want to be like having a fun stream with Joy, you know, like.
I don't even know what the aftermath is going to be about this. And the whole time we're talking, I'm like, oh, fuck, this is not going to be good.
I'm sorry.
But it's like, it's, you know, people call me Savage Joy, but when it comes to like drama and shit, like I don't even use names because I fucking hate that shit. And I pride myself in sticking to actual issues. But this just, if it weren't the same group, I don't think
they made it personal. When you go on a public forum and you are saying that you want to physically fly across the country and cause somebody physical harm, that's abusive. That, I mean, like, how can you say that you are helping the world or helping anybody by saying that you're going to go and take all that time and that effort and that energy to go and physically harm somebody? Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's, she made this public. We didn't. They made it public. They did it publicly. This wasn't private chats. This wasn't just like drama. Like, there's a difference to me between somebody publicly saying, I am going to get a lawyer, you better self-censor yourself, or I'm going to come at you with legal action. What the fuck? Like,
yeah. This shit sucks.
How much better could that resource, how much better could your time and energy and your money, the financial aspect of that is like insane to me too. Like, you feel that passion, you feel that much anger and that much passion, that much hate is in you, and you're going to tell me that I'm being an abusive person? I'm not. That's a lot of projection, and you know, that just makes the fight for healthcare even more, you know, like, it just shows that we are really going to need healthcare for the people. They already need it, but mental health, we are going to have an absolute catastrophic mental health breakdown of an entire country and beyond. It's happening. It's coming. It's coming. Like,
yeah, we had a mental health panel, and you know, one of them was a psychologist, and she legit said there are more psychological problems and more self-harm and more suicidal ideation and such than ever. And I'm not, you know, diagnosing anyone in particular. I'm just saying,
no, I'm not a medical doctor. Not a medical doctor, but I just know what I see and I feel it, you know, like, and what that attack, that need to assert so much dominance and power and control over me and what I say, when I'm not saying anything directly like insulting. I'm not calling anybody names. I am not like, I was called the names, you know, like I'm the one who was called all these things. Like, there's so many screenshots, but like, it's not, and see, like, every little minute detail of that, it's like, I don't want to continue to be holding this space of feeling like I have to keep calling out a network and now individuals that are a big representation within that network. This is not where I want to focus my time and energy. but I will, if it needs to be said, I'll keep saying it.
That's what I did struggle with and am struggling with the most, is I don't want this to be, now they're doing more streams about me and I have to, and then like, I want all them to just leave us all the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Just leave us alone. Just leave us alone. And I'm speaking for, even though I'm not a part of M for All anymore, I'm speaking for myself and them. Leave us alone. Just leave us the fuck alone. Don't trash our shit. You know, I mean,
there needs to be some sort of accountability, though, for people that are doing this kind of thing. If nobody is calling them out and everybody's sweeping it under the rug, what's going to continue to happen? It's going to destroy upwards. It's just going to keep causing more and more problems within this. So it's like we have to weigh the balance of whether or not it's like, why are we doing it? Why are we saying it? Like, we have to what Buddha says, if you propose to speak, ask yourself, is it true? Is it necessary? And is it kind? And like it's just something to really, really think about. It's not like I don't have any like crazy like vengeance against them. Like, I want something to like, I have no ill intent of violence towards anybody there. In fact, it's the opposite. I hope that people can get some help, however, in whatever way it is that they need to, and they can be authentic with themselves, so that others don't have to keep holding them accountable, and they can hopefully see that people don't have ill intention towards you, but you need to stop putting your ill intent on others. I can exist within an atmosphere with other people, but I am not going to have people saying that I'm saying certain things that I'm not, or that I'm acting a certain way that I'm not doing those things. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to tolerate that. I'm not, like, and I was rather quiet about a lot of this, and I struggled with that same thing that you do, because it feels like you don't want to have that label of like drama put on you. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're just doing drama. Oh, you're just doing reactionary shit.
I literally did a show and they came in and attacked me the whole time, to the point where I was so upset, I literally took the stream down. I couldn't even air that show because they were so fucking nasty that they just infiltrated my comments with insults and bullying and harassment and everything like that. I literally took the show down and never even published it because it was so fucking bad. But yet,
you shouldn't have to go through that.
I could have,
I guess, we
done public with screenshots of the shit they said to me, and I didn't. I have kept so much shit under wraps for months. Absolutely months. Since July. I've kept so much shit under wraps. And
people have come to me and told me stuff, and like, and I've been surprised by some of the support that I've gotten. Because I mean, not that I didn't think, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it wasn't like I didn't know the person or something, or didn't know who like they might be in the sphere. But some of the support that I've gotten, I was just like, oh, wow, that's really, that's really amazing that they saw something and they decided to not just go with like, oh yeah, that's just drama and walk away from it. You know what I mean? But to know, like, to just not to even get any details, just to check in with me, like, are you okay? And that's it. That's as far as it, some of the context went. And it's like, it's nice to be seen and to know I'm not in this by myself. I'm not crazy. Other people have gone through this. Other people are going through this from the same people. And like that bully and intimidation and not wanting to be drama and shit like that, that's what keeps us from not speaking up about it. And we need to realize that sometimes we do need to speak up about it, and it's not drama. It's telling the truth. And I don't want others to go through this. I don't want you to continue to go through this. And then also at the same time, I've been surprised at lack of support within this too. People like will just like want to like avoid you, as opposed to saying like, hey, are you okay? And it really sucks. It really sucks. It really puts a big divide within our community that we're trying to build. Like it's having the absolute opposite effect. So it's like you don't win either way. Like there's no winner in this. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh yay, I came out on top. No, there's no coming out on top, because it's freaking heartbreaking to have to deal with this kind of thing.
A friend said to me, he said, it's a shame y'all don't get along. And I said, yeah, it is. And he said, you both have no power. And I was like, that's a damn truth. We don't have any power, and neither do they. But we're just, it's sad, at times infuriating, and it's exhausting. But I might change my mind, but I'm glad we did this show. I might change my mind when I see what I'm in for after this. And, I hate that I feel that way. And it's the reason that I didn't say shit for months because of this. Because I know what these people are like. And I know that even though I've blocked most of them, what I'm in for, because I know how bad they attack me now when I don't say their names. So my wish is that
maybe saying their name will make them more, like, make them realize, oh wait, no, people know now. They can verify.
No, because all it does is it gets the cultists. You can't say that about her. Oh my God. She's a queen bee. Oh my God. She put rainbows. She put sprinkles. Oh my God, how dare you? And then the cults come out and they're like, yeah. No, dropping their names are not a good thing. We have
Austin Jones.
If people are going to be ugly, that's on them. But I wish other people who follow these people would wake the fuck up and realize you are the company you keep. And by you following them and defending them, you are them. You may not be the one saying the things, but when you're defending it and you're following them and you're donating to them and you're all that shit, you're the same. So I feel like we could talk about this for another 5 hours, and this is like the longest stream I've ever done.
I have that effect. Ricky Rants came on, and like our first stream, like we hadn't really like talked before that. We went for like 6 hours. So sorry, yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Ricky's my boy.
He's a sweetheart. I love Ricky. Like, absolutely love him.
I stayed with him in New York, and we had so much fun, and that came out wrong, and that is not what I meant.
You're like, this is why my husband doesn't have social media.
Oh my God. Wow.
He's not going to pull a Will Smith. I think we'll be okay.
No, my husband is definitely not like that.
Oh my gosh. I know. Okay. I'm the chick that like, okay, I'll tell you something funny. Like, you want to know how much of a bully and violent I am? You want to know? So one time Steve's playing at this mom and pop like restaurant. It was the coolest place. Um and this guy is there. I called him green shirt guy because I don't have a name for him. He's
I
random.
know people stuff like that all the time. Literally, I'll be like yellow hat guy,
Yes,
orange watch guy. Like I always do
because you
that.
gotta associate it somehow. So green shirt guy was like, so like there was is like a pizza restaurant and like a bar, and like the bar side, the cutest, like, oh my god, totally like adorably gay, like guys, like flaming, like outright gay, which I just love because I just love that, like, just being them, being authentic in them, and all that. I don't know. I love gay guys. I want like 5 in my back pocket at all times. Just
I
saying,
think I am a gay guy, actually inside.
So he was like harassing them and like harassing all these people and like just being a freaking asshole. And I'm out there like, smoking a cigarette. I got Leo. I'm in a sundress. I'm barefoot, and it's like, a city street, but I'm barefoot. This guy would not freaking stop. And he went after one of our friends and like was like, "You're a fucking cunt," or something, like, oh, just triggered me to the point where I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. I chased the guy down the road. I never put my hands on him, but I was the chick barefoot in a sundress chasing the guy down the street because he was being I'm the one who's gonna like stand up in the crowded room and be like, no, that's not right. If I was at the Oscars the other night, I would have been like the one that stood up and was like, what the fuck just happened here? Like, nobody cares. Like, did everybody just like not see that? Hello? I wouldn't be at an awards ceremony like that anyway, but I'm the person that would stand up in the middle of the room and be like, hello? Does nobody see what's happening?
Much of Dakota, best film of the year, and disabled people finally got a best motion picture, and nobody fucking cares because it's not the shiny object, but I care. And
I didn't really know the Oscars were happening.
Solidarity with the disabled community and solidarity with Coda and all of the fucking amazing, beautiful people who worked on that film.
I have to watch it now. Like, how do you spell it?
It's so good. So good.
Is it CODA? Is that how you spell it? All right, I'm about to look it up and watch it.
It's
That's
incredible.
awesome.
I just got goosebumps even thinking about it. It's so fucking good.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, I thank you so much for joining me. I'm sure we'll do another show together in the future, but I'm glad we finally got to so-called meet. And
hey, you don't have to fly too far. You can like drive for, to come beat my ass if I offend you.
I can't drive. I'm blind.
Oh yeah, shit.
You don't want that, girl. You do not want that.
It's so funny. I didn't even think about it. Like, I'm just like, yeah, you could drive. Well, I mean, like someone else could drive you.
I would literally.
I didn't mean you personally.
Ask, like along the way, literally.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny though. Yeah, you're like, no, you don't want me to drive. Yeah, we have the chick that's blind and the chick that has a spinal fusion in her back because of a bad car accident. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll road it up.
We are a freaking mess to be like with, let me tell you. Well, thank you so much, Lucky. I adore you. You're wonderful, and keep fighting the fight, girl. You're holding it down.
You too. I'm there with you.
And thank you all so much for watching. Tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, I have Robert Durden on for our show, The Damned, in which we just completely roast politicians and make jokes about them and typically have a crass, perverted sense of humor while we do it. And then Thursday night, I am welcoming back Tara Reid. So I'd be glad to speak with her again. So both of those are 9 p.m. Eastern. So please tune in the next 2 nights. And thanks so much for watching, you guys. I love you so much. You guys are the best.
If you look for a Lucky Burrito, you'll find me. It's pretty easy.
Thanks again.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.